Hey friends, this is a quick guide to Bunjs. Here, if you want to work with Bunjs, you have to first configure Bunjs into your system, which I had already explained. Second, we have to create a project. Third, we have to create a server. Okay, so why do we need to create a server? Because if I want to share my endpoints with someone else, so that for that purpose I have to create a server, right? So let's see how we can do that. So to create a new project, we have to go to our directory in which we want to create a project. Then let's create a folder with the name demo bun. So after creating this directory, let's move to demo bun and then open my folder to code editor. So now as you can see, it's a blank folder, right? So it's a completely blank project. So to start with our Bunjs demo project, we have to use a command that is bun init, right? And here it is asking the name. I will go with the same. I will create the index.txt, and now we have set up a basic scaffold required to run our Bunjs application. Okay, so some of the important folders are here, that index.js. So this is the folder from where your program starts, right? And this is our package.json. So here is the name of our project, this module, and here are the dependencies which we are installing, which we are using. So as you can see, here is an peer dependency that is of TypeScript, because Bunjs by default support both TypeScript and JavaScript, right? So let's say we want to execute this file, okay, index.txt file, and we want to just console this hello by bun. Okay, so let's instead of writing this hello by bun, let's change this with something else. Hey, we are here. Hello, we are here, right? So now just to run this file, we have to use a command that is bun run and the name of this file. So what is the name of this file? So it's index.ts, right? So it's index.ts, and now as you can see, we have in console hello, we are here, right? So even though if you just change this file extension to ts to js, then it will work, right? So let's change this and let's run this file bun run index.js, and now we again have the same console. Okay, so that means Bunjs support both js and ts files, right? So let's change this to back to ts file. Okay, and as you can see here in that configuration file, we have so here we have this ts configuration file, which we doesn't created, it has created by Bunjs itself, right? So now, so our next task is to just create a simple server, right? So let's move to our blog. Okay, and as you can see here, we have a method and code by which we can create our server. So to create a server, firstly we have to import this serve from bun, right? So let's first import this serve from bun, and then next we have to create the server, right? So let's copy this and just paste it here. Okay, now you can see this. By using this serve, we had creating an instance, right? So by using this, we had creating a server, and in this server we had given some information. Okay, so this fetch function which you had seen here is basically used to create the endpoint, okay, to endpoint of our application, of our APIs of our server, right? And here we had just giving this information, okay, at which port number we want to run our server, right? So let's instead of using this 3000, let's change it to 4000. Okay, and now here we can console the port number. Okay, so let's write here our server is running at listening on port, right? But we have to mention the port number, right? So to mention that port number, we just use that concatenation, right? And I am just pasting here server.port. Okay, now by using the server.port, we have accessed this port number which we had mentioned here, right? So now to run this project, we are just going to use the same command, that is bun run index.js. Sorry, instead of js we have just ts, and now you can see we are our server is running at 4000 port. Okay, so let's move to that 4000 port. Let's enter here localhost 4000. Here we will see a response, okay, and the response is hello world. Okay, so this is the response we are getting from this server. okay, from our endpoint. Now we have this ability to share my endpoints with any other. Okay, so we had created successfully our backend. Change this text to something else. Welcome to Bunjs tutorial, right? So as you can see, and go to here, and we have to, as you can see, we have to refresh. Okay, and even after refresh it is not working. Because why it is so? Because to render the changes we have to again run this bun run index.ts, right? And now if you go to our server and refresh this, now we have this updated text. Okay, so we can create our own script to eliminate this issue, right? So to do this we have to create a script tag. Here let's create a script tag, and in the script tag let's create a start script, right? And here we can use some commands. Okay, so to run our server, anytime we make some changes in our code, we have to use a watch tag along with the command we are using here. Okay, so let's copy this first. Okay, let's first copy this, and after copying just paste it here. Okay, and now we have to use a watch tag. Okay, so to use a watch tag we have to use -- watch, right? And just save this. Now if now instead of running this bun run index.ts, we will simply run bun start. Okay, so let's run this bun start, and now we have successfully run our server at 4000, right? So let's go to our window, right? And again hit this endpoint, that is localhost 4000, right? And now we have this updated text. So now just let's change something. Just remove this welcome and save this changes. And now if I just refresh, as you can see, it reflected to our server. Okay, now if I make some another changes, then it will again reflect it to my server without reconfiguring or restart my server, because by default, by using this watch tag, it will do all these for me, right? So as here we had successfully understand how we can create our server in Bunjs and how we can configure our script files to run our servers in watch mode, right? So I think this is quite enough for our introductory video, and as we go further, and we will figure out what are the different functionalities that Bunjs provide out of the box. Okay, so till then, have a nice day and goodbye.